Hello and welcome back to the SplatoonTourney LAN Championship Showdown. We've joined by OBT, and we are going to be seeing C-Bubble versus CQ got kicked out. No, that's not us. No, that's not us.
Close. I think we're doing Prickly Pear versus Glub. I think.
We've got all the wrong matches. No, it's okay. Yeah, we're seeing Prickly Pear versus Glub in winners semifinals. Sorry about that.
Hey, that's
but
okay,
yeah,
man. There's just so much production with the 5 streams. I know that sometimes we might be having a little technical difficulties, but either way, we have I believe, the number 2 team versus the number 3 team. So this is the more evenly matched side of winner semis rather than the first and the 8th seed. Good golly. But hey, representing the great state of Arizona where I'm from, we have Prickly Pear from Sunset Surge versus Glub representing the Big Dapple, and of course, New York, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sad that I am not gonna get to cover my little Henlo match, but you must be stoked to cover Prickly Pear. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
I mean, you guys have no idea how excited I am, man. Okay, now if anyone was watching my last commentary set for Sunset Surge, I will definitely be less biased than that. I was like so tired, bro. I've been there for like 12 hours. I was like, I don't even care. Dio was talking so much smack. But yes, I am over the moon to cheer for my local boys, Pepe and Shiny, with half of Healthy Diet food groups being Blop and Eevee. Just really great people, really nice people overall, man. I just really enjoy them. I don't really know a whole lot about the Glub team, meaning that they're on the other side of the country, but also I feel like had some pretty stacked lands both at Sunset Surge and I'm sure with the Big Dapple. I know they got a lot of dedicated teams out there. So this should be a good match. I'm excited. I'm curious to see how the other side's going to go. Being the 1st seed versus like the 5th seed, but either way, we got some good matches. We're gonna start on a much more normal match of Zones, Umami, and no, why is there another Zones Hammerhead game fight? No!
Pepe will pay for this, or no, who was it? Will pay for this. Super exciting match. Both some really good players on both sides of this. I mean, you got Balloon, you've got Keen, you've got Nolan and Nilla, all pretty big names here. So on the side of Glub. So already you got some interesting comps.
Yeah, man, shout out to the Saguaro Cactus coming out from the side of Prickly Pear. As you see the members of Prickly Pear painting their spawn to try to get Cooler on there. Pepe going to go down top mid to Balloon, unfortunately. And looks like Eevee is undeterred, going to try to find a pick. They do find one in the side of the bucket, but it is unfortunately just going to be Blop and Shiny alive for Prickly Pear.
Yeah, so I mean, Big Dapple taking a pretty strong standing first off. They are going to be the first cap. I mean, it can be pretty hard to get cap on these double zones maps because you just have to cover the entirety of mid. But they're just going to keep taking down that timer all the way down to 80 points already. And the point, all the picks are going to keep on flowing here. It looks like Pepe is going to kind of try to contest them, but they're going to get taken down by a Kraken, and that Kraken is just going to keep on continuing and putting up all that pressure. Now, on the side of Prickly Pear, they do have a few seconds to get together and recoup, and they do have all those specials, so I'm sure we're going to see a good retake from them.
Yeah, man, as soon as I saw that Zuko where it was and the Kraken where it was, I'm like, dude, Pepe's like super dead. Blop is going to be trying to defend this left side here, just trying to paint to try to get Pepe and Eevee on the carbon in. Is going to go down, unfortunately, to the hammer. Blop going to be able to finish him up, but they need to get the cap on the side of Prickly Pear if they want to stay in this. Pepe going to find a great Zuka shot on to Nilla there, and that is going to be the zone flip for the side of Prickly Pear. But man, push to 36 against a team this caliber. Really good stuff coming out from the Glub there.
Yeah, I mean, Prickly Pear does have a pretty tall hill to climb, getting all the way down to 30 points for that lead, but they do definitely have what's in them. They're holding out pretty good so far, and they do have some specials in their back pockets to pop when times get tough. We are going to see Keen go in with that hammer and the concurrent Kraken coming out, putting on the pressure, but we're going to see if that actually has an effect, or if it's just kind of roll off of them like water, and they are going to continue to hold. They're pretty close to the lead here now. Tri-Strike's going out, trying to contest, but still really not doing much.
Yeah, that was just kind of unfortunate. You saw Nolan and I think that's Nilla on the wiper pop their 2 specials, and they're not going to be able to paint much. This is going to be the lead swamp for Prickly Pear there, but it's just kind of unfortunate. I don't think all 4 members of Glub have been alive towards the middle of the map in quite some time. They're going to have to dive at the zone. You see Keem trying to push on this wiper. They're probably going to get taken out by Pepe there, and that's going to be the first game going over to Prickly Pear.
Yeah, no, Prickly Pear, they saw Glub go down to 30 points, and like, no, watch this. And then went from 100 to 0 in one push, which is super impressive. They had trouble getting in, but once they were in, they were like a Saguaro Cactus. Can't touch them.
Very close. It's Saguaro. Just gonna correct that. I just love you to death, Saguaro. I get it, man. There's a G in the middle of that. All right. Now you saw on this replay. This is kind of when they're on the back foot. Blob gonna be able to clean that up there. But just to know that the other team really did not get a chance to push there. Great shot from Pepe. Got the initial zone flip onto there. And one thing I can say, because I played against this team at Sunset Surge, man, they just melted us. It was so bad. Is that they're so good at sustaining pushes. I feel like between Blop and Shiny, especially having the patience to really know when they need to back up for specials and just live, man, those teams, they're just so good at sustaining them. It was so hard to get on them. Pretty much every team that weekend struggled with it. All right. Also, I just want to take a second to show off. I have my little Sunset Surge flag. Look at it. All right, so Pepe got these made for us, and I was able to buy one. So very happy to say we are Sunset Surge, and let's go Prickly Pear. All right, we got 2 more games to win. So, but again,
that's so fun. Sunset Surge has a fantastic logo. I forget who designed it, but props to them because it is Tori. Yeah, Tori. A fantastic job on that. I will also say, Prickly Pear, this team, man, they went to all of the West Coast lands, and because of specifically them, we knew when we were planning it that they were going to do that, and we knew that they were most likely going to win a lot of those events, or place really high in them, or they had a really good chance of winning them. So we had to come up with a specific rule of what would happen if you won more than one land, specifically because of these guys. So there's, a whole thing of like, if you win more than one land, you have to go ahead and choose when you win your first land, whether or not you're going to represent it, and then if you don't win another one, good luck. But yeah, no, these players are absolutely talented. We knew going in that they were going to be in this tournament one way or another. So it's super excited to see them here and doing well. Apparently they're in winner semis. They won their first match. So super, super cool.
I was really curious about that because, like, I knew that they were planning on doing that. Pepe went to this event, Booyah Bay, and they won Sea Battle also. So I was so curious about what they were going to do with that. Hey, I mean, they did lose Booyah Bay too. No boys allowed. Just putting that out there. So they are not infallible. I'm glad they didn't win all 3 of the West Coast lands. But we're going to get back into it on game number 2 on, I believe, this is Inkblot, probably Clams of TC.
Yeah, for sure. I believe that's the same comp that we saw coming out game 1 on the side of Glub there, but Prickly Pear is bringing out something a little bit different.
Yeah, so Eevee plays Decav and Marvin for the most part, and they put me onto this JP Decav player, and I remember like I was talking to them at Sunset Surge. They were like, "Yo, OBC man, like 96% of Western Decav players play that weapon wrong. Like, they're going for charge slashes. Like I just try to body people at max range constantly, and that's been working out for me a lot. And it clearly is working out for Prickly Pears. You're going to see 2 members of the other team going down, kind of trading picks here with Keem on their plat, trying to find this pick onto Shiny. They are going to find it, not able to jump out, unfortunately. And now you just have one member on the side of Prickly Pear, going to try to see if they can try to open the basket here.
Yeah, fantastic pitch there. Unfortunately, they do go down at that point, but we are going to see, I mean, just mid kind of frantic here. No solid pushes yet. I mean, it is Clan Blitz. It's pretty rare to see a good push in the first minute, but we're going to see how this happens. There's a big scuffle in mid. There's, like, everyone's on the wrong sides of it. We're kind of flip-flopping around here.
Yeah, man, I feel like these Krakens have been a little questionable for Nolan purely because they've not really found a pick outside that one we saw into Pepe there. Again, we popped Kraken and there was no one really by them. I feel like Prickly Pear did a great job just trying to hide there. They are cooled up, which means you're probably going to start seeing some action. Nolan just kind of trying to fight here on this right side alone. Going to go down to Pepe there. Pepe wasting no time. Going to find 2 people on the ramp. Going to bite off a little bit more than they could chew and going to go down to Balloon's bucket there.
Yeah, and then we do see our first push here in front from Glub. They're kind of coming out of nowhere there. They did try to defend it with that bubble, not quite enough, but that's not a sustained push. That's not what you need in this game mode. 80 points is great, but you have to kind of bank on the other team not scoring at all for the rest of the match if that's what you want. We do see Sunset Surge, Prickly Pear there going 2 down here, which doesn't look too good for them in terms of sustaining their mid hold, but we'll see. They are a super strong team, so we're see how they do in here. Do have a few specials at the ready to kind of hold them off.
Yeah, I feel like, unfortunately, Prickly Pear just has not been able to get really set up. I feel like they've been defending their plat for, like, just most of the game. And even though, we're only down to 80, there's just so much potential for scoring. I think they're trying to hold down and jump. They decided not to kind of wisely there. I don't blame them. But I feel like right now both teams are just trying to get a really, really sustained push going. Try not to just trade and try to open the basket. Unfortunately, 2 members from Globally going to go down there. It is just Nolan. Nolan's probably going to opt to jump. They're trying to find Clam, trying to pass to Pepe and Blop, try to open. And this should be at least a little bit more than 80 coming out from the side of Prickly Pear.
Oh yeah, there you
Well,
go. I mean, that's a lead.
it's
Such an impressive
77,
lead.
so that's more
It's
than 80.
It's the exact opposite of last set that we spectated, the pushes that happened there, because, I mean, I said that this doesn't happen as much at high level, but I mean, you're kind of proving me wrong here, guys.
I feel like this is a really good showing of that all the teams are really strong. I feel like there's been a lot of close games like this, even in the last set that we were watching, where not a team just spends a lot of the match trying to get set up, but once they're set up, good golly, Miss Molly, man, it is all guns a-blazing there. A lot of people try to challenge Eva. They're even just gonna jump out saying, "I got cooler, bro. I'm not even gonna deal with that." They are gonna take this fight. Gonna get pinched from 2 members of Glub there. And man, such a just breakneck speed match on there. It's hard to keep track of who's even winning the team fights.
Yeah, we do see 3 down on the side of Glub, but so far, even when they've had these numbers advantage, they really haven't been able to get anything going. But looks like we might see something different here with Shiny coming in with that power clam. They are going to get it in and continue their lead all the way down to 68 points now. And Funky Eevee there in the bat's going to be an absolute nuisance. Going to get another power clam, and that's 39.
Again, it's hard not to have bias for Arizona, but man, I just feel like if the overhead right before this push was like textbook playing together, and then you saw Blop pop the whales for Eevee, who was in the basket area. I mean, that was just really, really great teamwork. I really feel like the LAN teams are just so good about playing together, especially these people. They put a lot of hours into the game. They were playing Sendo-Key, they were playing tournaments. And all this talk doesn't matter when you all go down to Nolan's Kraken, and now the other team's on their side of the map.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that bamboo player there is like an unstoppable wall. Once you're in its range, if they have good aim, which this player absolutely does, you're not getting through that. And the last player does go down to a bomb on that super jump. So you can see there, super good push, but just the factors weren't quite right. And that is really just showing the strength of Prickly Pear here. We have about 30 seconds left in this match, and unless Glub, really get something going in the last 30 seconds, it's looking pretty rough for him.
I'm not gonna lie, man, that's the coconut bonk sound effect of a push. Why were they all lined up literally right in front of Blop's laser and like 4 other things? That was like crazy to me to see that even happen. So great stuff for Blop for punishing them, but just a questionable positioning. You got 10 seconds left there. I think they have a ball, but they somehow have to get it to the basket, and it's going to go into overtime here with not anyone from Glub on to the other side of the map. Gosh, gotta love the camera. I'm telling you, I've been there. I know how hard it is to get on the right basket. 2 members from Prickly Pear going down. This is their chance to score. Hopefully they are able to sustain this, but again, you see Blop above them trying to find picks. They get the basket open, and they have clans, but is it going to be enough here?
Yeah, it buys them some time, and they do have jumps going in, but do they have the clams? I think the answer to that is no. And with that control rapidly being lost and not really much to go... Oh, there's a little bit more. We can see this turn around, but no, we're not. That is going to be game. Going to Prickly Pear, that's 2-0, even though Glub has been super strong. I mean, yeah.
I feel like, man, the thing about Prickly Pear is that they're just so methodical. It's like, it's kind of the best of both worlds. You have the scrappiness of Pepe coming from TZS, where they're a really scrappy team. They hold forward a lot. You have all the experience from Shiny coming from Cherry Lemonade, whatever. And then you have just the absolutely surgical, methodical play style. And here was that thing I was talking about from Blop, bro. They were literally all in a line, and I guarantee you Blop's laughing like, I don't even know why they did that, bro. And then they jump in and super die, and they keep them away from that ball, not going to be able to get anything. Here is that overtime push, man. Like I said, it's just so hard to keep those baskets open when you are trying to also counter like your teammates going down. So even though they got it close, man, Nolan was just nowhere near this basket to get it open. And again, it's not like Glub is doing bad. It's just, again, I just feel like the members of Prickly Pear are just picking them apart, man, by piece by piece.
I mean, you really don't see bamboos too often nowadays. At least, we're not in the MPU era anymore. But I mean, like, the weirdest thing on Glub's team is at 96, and that's just a shooter. And you still see him kind of often, but that bamboo, man, it's powerful. People underestimate it. It's like a brick wall, like I said. So I mean, if you're kind of struggling to adapt to playing that, it can be kind of hard.
Yeah, and the thing about bamboo with Cavitator is, again, they complement each other so well. I feel like they can both hold down really large sides of the map. They combo pretty well together. And of course, those 2 players are teammates on Healthy Diet Blue Group. I feel like they're much more of a team that's play together. I can't exactly speak for the side of Glub, but I know for at least my experience, I see these people in game a lot together, grinding, VOD viewing, whatever. But hey, we are going to see a little bit of a comp change. You're going to see the Rapid coming out from the side of Glub. Balloon on that Rapid, and hopefully going to try to find a little more AoE to combo with Nolan. And again, more of the same coming out from Prickly Pear. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, the paint coming out from that side is pretty good. I mean, but it's good from all sides. But yeah, anyway, Tri-Strike's out super early. Hopefully going to be able to push them back and making room for them to go ahead and hop on the tower and get some early points in. We'll see if it turns into a, good long-lasting push, but who knows. Although Pepe there is going to get a good Zuka shot, 2 down on the other side, and the shoes on the other foot now, it seems, as Pepe just keeps on getting those picks.
Like I said, man, I've seen Pepe. Oh my gosh,
that's a massacre over there.
Do this all the time with TZS, man, where they just get behind them, just annihilate them, and then turn around and then they're pinched. And then Pepe did end up going down there, but just really great stuff. Saying, I know I can use Zuka up close. It doesn't bother me at all on this. And you see again, Prickly Pear just being like, "You're not gonna fight me, bro. You got to charge slash in the dark to try to get it." Unfortunately, going to be in the bubble. There is a lot of stuff on Eevee. I don't know if they're going to live there. Why is he going to jump over there? But I just feel like right now they're burning specials and they're just trying to get back in the mid against this cooled up Prickly Pear right now.
Yeah, no, they are super hot right now, just going back in. Like the amazing defense. I mean, you already see that from the side of Glub, you do see those strikes coming back out again. Nilly goes down immediately, and those 3 down. I mean, that push fizzles out before it could even start.
I'm telling you, that's what it's like going against Prickly Pear, bro. You saw it in an instant that we're striking to we're 3 down to Nolan's getting jumped by 3 people and they're dead. Like they just move up so fast. They know exactly what they want to do on the map. And right now, man, they're just trying to keep Glub as staggered as possible. I feel like they have not been able to play well off of the strikes. They're even gonna go down on this right side, but pretty much no one's home except for that one lone person gonna get lasered by Shiny as they go past this first checkpoint.
Yeah, just kind of sitting there, yawning as you go through the checkpoint. I mean, just kind of holding the charge on that the heavy edit there. They still manage to keep the hold. They just, it's not a good time to push right now. They're waiting for their good opportunity. You have Eevee there underneath that ledge, which is always super annoying, and they're just biding their time, doing a really good job, getting 2 picks, and I believe that might be their opportunity to push again if they deem it so.
Yeah, and I feel like right now, Prickly Pear is doing a good job. I feel like the other team really wants them to be set up in one spot, but you see constantly members of Prickly Pear just moving back and forth so that you can't just set up with their AoE there. All right, Nolan gonna get a pick. Hopefully the other members of Glub are able to move up after this, and they're finally back in the mid. Hopefully gonna see the whales here coming out. They're cool it up. You see Nolan trying to push this left side alone here, but you see again like 3 people shooting at them where their wall is like gone instantly. And now Nolan's just trying to live from the bamboo there as they're approaching that first checkpoint. But again, from behind, it's Pepe with the Zuka, bro.
Ooh, gets taken down, though, by Balloon on that Rapid, which is some pretty good shots. I mean, that's a pretty hard weapon to have a 1v1 on, just because the zoning is so difficult on it. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they get something going here, but they are, once again, 2 down, kind of gone before they could even start. 1 down is this Balloon over there. That's a pretty tough spot. They try to jump out, but aren't quite able to make it. And once again, Sunset Surge is kind of surging forward. They're getting ready for another push, just keeping up the pressure, which really is the name of the game here.
Yeah, and it's crazy how fast that they're already literally poking at this person on their ramp while they're striking. Like, they just are so merciless. It's so funny to watch this. And I don't know if maybe just the stream camera is not catching it, but I am so curious about what is happening to the rest of their teammates when they're pushing. You saw we were on Balloon for a long time, but I just kept seeing people die, but I couldn't see exactly what was taking them down. But really, man, this game has all been about Sunset Surge and Prickly Pear, man. They are just constantly on the offense here. And because they have, they don't have the best lead in the universe, but they have been an advantage for so long. They can just keep the tower on their side of the map and just bide their time, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I mean, like, they're still here. Like, they're still here. It's been so long. They spent probably like 50% of this match on the enemy team, or at least probably more. That's a gross underestimation. And look at Eevee here, just being super, super hard to deal with. And, even though they're not on their plat anymore, now they're in this really awkward off angle, just enabling them to just keep going forward. Blop over there in that little elbow under there, going into plat. We might see, almost getting set up on tent there, a little bit further up than that. Just incredible. I mean, they're at the last choke point, and at this point, the game kind of plays itself.
Man, if I had a nickel for any time that they had all 4 up on the other team, I'd have like 1 nickel right now, as we are going to see a 3-0 for Prickly Pear over Glub. They're saying, hey, I know the stream's behind y'all. I got you, bro. We'll do this 30 in a handshake and be on our way, man. Now they're on their way to winners finals. So.
They were hot like Paven and Phoenix Summer there, like super. Like Glub was absolutely not, playing badly there, but Prickly Pear, I mean, like you mentioned, these guys have played together a bunch. They played in a few LANs together. They traveled together. They had all this time to play together. They had the matching emotes too. That's can't be underestimated. So, I mean, it's no surprise that these guys performed amazingly.
I mean, great stuff to Pepe on this play. They can really cut after Pepe got lasered there. the thing I want to highlight with this clip is you see this so much with Prickly Pear. They duck in the ink until you move in without them knowing that you're there, and then they laser you immediately. It's a really good tactic of not revealing yourself until the absolute last second. But again, man, once they were in on that last second, they were in, and they are gonna hopefully, thankfully, save us from having another Hammerhead Zones game. Saying, I got you, bro. Probably going to be facing off against My Little Henlo. The first and second seed are probably going to end up in winners finals there. And that's exactly what happened because it was a 3-0 on the other side. All right.
That's my boys. So, I mean, luckily we're not here to commentate that because there would be some beef. Because
oh my gosh, so much beef.
You know, so much beef because that's, you know, that's both of our homeboys. That's both of our guys. Yeah, it's super exciting. I mean, well, yeah, first and second seeding's accurate.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, hey, man, I'm just happy my boy Prickly Pear, and I can say this now that they won. Yeah, man, they're in the LAN Championship Winners Finals. Go AZ. And again, man, we got the other side of the hottest place in the universe, Florida, on the other side of Winter Finals. Thankfully, that's not going to be us. I think we're about ready to move on here. So, Weef, where can the great people find you on Blue Sky?
You can find me just at Weef. It's just Weef. Or on Twitter, anywhere else, like any other platform, it's going to be Weef Slider. OBT, where can the wonderful people find you?
You can find me on pretty much anything at Obese Tyrese. That's my full tag, by the way, in case you were wondering. So legal I'm on Twitch and Blue Sky, not so much on Twitter nowadays. So, but yeah, man, this has just been a blast. I'm so glad we got to commentate these two sets, man. I think we got some pretty talented people coming up right after us.
Oh yeah, for sure. So definitely stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to the other channels. Stay tuned to the main analysis stream on SplatoonTourney. But we will see you next time.
That's right. See you.